Come on in, everybody. New location. We out in the city, saved in the city. I'm gonna wait for a couple people to join, and then we'll jump right into our welcome. For those people who are gonna be just joining, you're gonna get a sneak peek preview, but probably not sneak peek because you literally are right here. There's no sneak peek.
Hello.
Kennita's all up and through.
I just finished eating.
And she just finished.
Just finished eating.
So this is what I absolutely love about, just the ability to be able to move about the city. So, saved in the city when we think about it. You might be a believer and, have a certain faith-based understanding, but we're still a part of this city. So what I've been doing lately is kind of stepping outside of the studio and into the city. We still eat turkey breast, even if we do love the Lord. But she didn't like it. She didn't like the turkey breast.
I did not like the turkey breast.
So as you guys begin to come in, make sure you like, share, tag people. You do not want to miss this conversation. And oh my God, I did it again. All this time, I always forget to tag people ahead of time. So it goes to everybody's pages. So I need you to be able to begin to like and share because your girl always forgets. I get excited and we're starting a little early today. So come on in. Come on in the room. Okay, so this is the welcome. Thank you guys again for joining for every week, for the support that you guys give me to keep on moving and keep on pressing. Because who really wants to talk to an empty room? Not me. So, shout out to all of my supporters that support me on a regular basis. Mima's Gourmet Delights. If you are looking for a sweet treat, I'm going to tell you exactly where you can get it. Going down to Lena's Food Market, going down to Woodman's and Menominee Falls. Or you can give her a call at 414-418-0616, and you can make a personal order and get your sweet treat for the summer. And then also shout out to LZ Flanard of Enterprise Now. I couldn't do this without him. We do have some things in the works, so you guys definitely stay tuned. And again, this is Saved in the City, just in case this is your first time joining. It's a weekly podcast show, and we touch all kinds of topics, y'all, from church culture to world culture and everything in between. And so today, I thought it'd be really fitting. We had a really fun time yesterday with Dr. Aisha. We actually touched on squad goals, as it pertains to relationships and building connections. And so I said, wow, this is very fitting that I would have the queen of squad goals right here with me, Miss Kennita Hickman. Oh my God, I'm so excited to have her here. And we're gonna go, we're gonna kind of span a gamut of topics, but more specifically, the underlying thing that we're gonna talk about is envisioning me. And so we're talking about that as it pertains to us or pertains to her, but then also envisioning you. How can I see myself beyond where I am right now? Because a lot of times when people, when we take away the mask and we start dealing with where we are right now, a lot of people aren't happy. If we're really honest about it, forget the fake facade that Facebook has. A lot of us are not exactly where we intend to be. So how do we not allow our past to abort our future, or our right now to say, nope, let's give in, let's throw in the towel, forget about what tomorrow brings. It's easier to live without expectation. How do we pick up when it seems like it's over and continue to move forward? Well, I got my girl here I ain't got to do all the talking. This is probably about the most talking I'm about to do up here. So let's bring Miss Kennita on into the conversation. Maybe just start by telling the people a little bit about yourself, the things that you do, and then we'll get more into that a little bit later as well, and then a journey.
All right.
From there to now.
So my name is Kennita, as Iberia mentioned, and I own a company called Catera. Most people probably remember me from my days of artist management. So I worked with B. Alexander, Tape Vendors, a rock band here in the city, the Cranberry Show, and just about any artist.
I have their CDs still on rotation.
So, and a lot of people, and that's part of it, people don't know the story, right?
Yeah.
So, started off there, but before that, I was writing for different music publications. Just in terms of music, hip-hop, Whammy, vice president of Whammy, just in terms of, she's so crazy, just in terms of...
That's where I met you, actually.
Yeah, it was Whammy.
Yeah, I never got a Whammy award, but I was always around the Whammy folks. And you also would have like these, I think it was like concerts, was it? Or maybe it was a part of leading up to the Whammy awards.
A couple years we did... was called Downtown Alive. With Whammy.
Yeah.
So a music series the Saturday before our award show. So in terms of music, in terms of different genres, I've just been all over the gamut. Took some time off because I needed to really envision what I needed my life to be. And here we are with Catera, the new company. I've got a couple projects I'm working on that I'm looking forward to telling you guys about.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Why Catera before we kind of get into the journey?
Catera is my middle name.
Oh.
Yes.
Just like Iberia is my middle name.
Yes,
Some people
Catera is
still
my
don't know
middle
that.
name. So Kennita Catera. So I always joke that if people met me before 2004, they still call me Casey. So because up to 2004, that's what everyone called me.
I
So,
love it.
yeah. So,
Catera LLC
Catera.
up in the house.
Yes, yes.
So, here's the thing, like, you kind of listed out all of the amazing things that, you've done, and thank you. Side note, let me show some sister love. Thank you for the work that you've done in the city. Again, I was an upcoming artist looking for platforms to connect and to see a sister, because a lot of times, can I just say it, with the Whammy Awards, it wasn't a lot of people that looked like us. And that's just the truth. But to see her in there just making things flow, it did something for me. So I appreciate you. And I understand that there's probably even a press that you don't always know about just because of that alone. So, we give accolades and, yay, all praise for all of that.
Thank you.
But,
I appreciate that.
Here's the thing. For those people who know you, they know you from that, or they know the forefront of you. Let's take a look, and I'm not going to say behind the mask, because I don't think it was a mask, but let's take a look behind the work. Let's look behind the work and tell us, kind of from your low point and how you were able to even press through to envision the things that you're able to walk out now.
Well, the truth is, I got into writing and into music because I was diagnosed with an illness at age 8. So arthritis and dermatomyositis, which is a part of the rheumatic illness with lupus. And so writing was really the only thing I could do physically. I couldn't run and play and things like that. To be fair, I wasn't interested in those things anyways. And so I started writing at age 8, and then at age 14, I published my first article in a national publication. From there, I think I just found that I really loved, I was raised in hip-hop music, right?
Okay.
So, I can't lie. I know it's a Christian podcast.
Well, so what? You Christian. She good and Christian, so go ahead.
But I was really inspired growing up by Cash Money.
That's the reality.
And No Limit. Once I got past the gold teeth. Yeah. At first I was just like, oh, what is this? But when I saw what they were able to do as a unit, and just the moves that they made, and really how they developed what I now know as culture, right? And how they spread that across the country. And even though I've never sold drugs or anything like that, the idea of the come up that is so present in hip hop was something
from the
that
bottom, now we're here.
It was something that always resonated with me. It was always present with me. And so as I started to progress as a writer, independent artists were looking for me to do their bio. Because my thing was, if you don't have a solid press kit at that time, I can't get you into the magazines that I write for.
Yeah.
So I would do the bios for free.
Wow.
I would do the bios for free. I would connect them to a photographer if they needed it, and then submit it to my editor to get them a write-up in the publications that I was writing for.
Right.
That moved into artist management. And so for me, and I appreciate you mentioning me being a black woman in this industry, because even in Milwaukee, I didn't have anybody to look up to.
Right.
So I was in these male-dominated spaces, in this male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
And
I can't
really
name anybody else other than you.
No.
Honestly. Wow. Goosebumps.
And so in that space,
anointing.
So in that space, though, my goal was to be as big as the best guy doing it. And I think at that time I wanted it for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
It wasn't very God focused. I was just trying to make moves and build and make moves. And so from there, I've taken so many breaks from music to just get myself together. I think, because Iberia and I, we talk fairly often. We've been trying to work together for years.
For years.
And so when we talked
dabble.
last week, we was like, this is the time.
Yeah.
This is it. Just from that conversation that we had. And part of that stemmed from a breakup that I experienced in 2016. I had a super ugly, embarrassing breakup.
Wow.
It was dreadful. And there was a moment where I considered suicide. And so the change for me was the acknowledging that this thing was over.
Wow.
And that the reasons why didn't matter. But it was over.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, God, so what do I do now?
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was in this really, really deep, dark tunnel. I definitely could not see the light. And I knew I didn't want to do what I'd always done after a relationship ended, which was jump back into work.
Yeah.
That was always my thing.
Yeah.
Jump back into work, work harder, build up my resume. And so I made the decision to not do that.
Yeah.
And I kind of, really from January 2017 to January 18, I took a break from everything. I was on boards, but I really wasn't super active.
Can I jump in and ask just a quick question? You said that you contemplated suicide, at that low point, and I think that point is really because there's been so many, and I'm not gonna say so many suicides, like just everybody, but Kate Spade recently killed herself.
Anthony Bourdain.
Exactly, and then those are the celebrities. So there's many unnamed folks that get to that point, and then they cross the line. What was it with you that said, no, I'm gonna keep living. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to pick myself up from this moment and at least live.
Well, here's the thing. So one of the things I would say is the image of my family. So I'm very close with my mom and my sister and my nieces and nephews. And so the spot where I had said I would do it after leaving their house for like Christmas, I didn't want them to have to drive past that spot every day.
Wow.
And be reminded of this thing.
Yeah.
But I think that was God.
Yes.
So ultimately I would say it was God placing this image of them having to drive past that for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And, breaking my mom's heart, and I couldn't do it. And so I have to tell you that after that thought went away, I drove around for about an hour. Like, it was raining that day. It was a really weird Christmas. And I actually went home and texted my ex. And thinking he might respond back, but I'm so thankful to God he didn't. But that was it for me. And in that moment, though, I still didn't know, like, where the light was at the end of the tunnel, or what that process was going to look like to get to the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, that's
like
good.
I just knew that I knew that something was going to come, and that if I could just ride it out, I would. If I kept moving forward, I would get to the light at the end of the tunnel. That I couldn't move backwards and I couldn't stay still. So I had to just keep going in the direction I thought was forward.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did with God's help. So it took me a year to really, when we talk about envisioning me.
Because it affected you. Well, no, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'm just saying where you had to change a lot of aspects of your life, that some things were kind of joint.
My life has been completely changed. What I found during my 2017, and it's funny because I was recently talking to a friend of mine. I just celebrated a birthday last Tuesday. I just turned 34.
Come through 34, I wish.
And so as I was telling my friend that I was turning 34, they said, oh, so you just completed your Jesus year.
What?
And I said,
oh,
what? Because it's my 33.
Right.
My 33rd year. So my 33rd year was really a year of rebirth and awakening and deep meditation and prayer, and really getting to a place where I found me.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm upset. Wow, I'm like so blown away by that with the 33rd. So now I almost want to think back to like what happened when I was 33. What was going on during that time? But wow, Kennita, that thank you so much for your transparency, because that's going to bless somebody if it's not already blessing somebody right now. Because believe it or not, you are. Well, I know you believe it. You're not the only one that's been in that space of feeling like, but for what? But for why? And but for what? And so sometimes even though you're in that forward kind of journey, you don't always know. And I think that's the thing. We always want to know, okay, what's the next step going to be? Or, okay, where are we going to? But sometimes you get into a season where you just got to keep walking.
Yeah.
Right? And then, so talk through that part of the journey then. So how did you start to reconnect? I know you took some time away, you and God. How did you get to reconnect?
So for that year, honestly, to be completely honest, I was fighting, I would say, for the first few months of that journey in early 2017. I just wasn't sure like what my career looked like and what my life looked like and what I really wanted. So I would say that one of the first things I started to do was to imagine what type of life I wanted.
Envision.
So what did it look like to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning? What was I doing? Who was I with? What was I eating? Was I working out first, or was I meditating?
I love that.
What type of work did I want to do every day? Who were the type of people I needed around me to support that type of work?
And again, this is before it was actually manifest. This is the thought process.
This was the thought process. And so I spent a lot of time envisioning, not just envisioning, but thinking about how it sounded, thinking about what it looked like, thinking about what it felt like to be in those spaces. So February 17, I get into another relationship.
Help us.
Help him. Because I am confident that the first 6 months was a rough ride for him. I know it because I wasn't ready. And I think he knew I wasn't ready, but he never pushed me away. He just waited quietly and patiently. So for me, a big key. So when we talk about major keys, forgiveness.
Wow.
Forgiveness. As I'm spending these months envisioning my life, I also start envisioning and seeing all of the baggage I'd been taking just really into my life space. And a lot of my past relationships was traveling with me not only into new relationships, but also into my life space, into my work, into my friendships and things like that. So when I made the decision to forgive my exes, all of them, I also asked God to forgive me. And I asked God, through him, I asked that my partners, my previous partners, forgive me. What I found was that I was a very judgmental person. And so you were either good or bad. And so at that stage, my exes were bad people. They were like legit horrible. Like,
but that helps us to walk away from it.
It does, but it's not true.
Even though it's not true, but that's kind of, we create that.
I don't think any of us are good or bad.
I agree.
I think we do some unkind things, but we also have the propensity to do kind things. And as it relates to my exes, the thing that I realized is that none of them were ready for the relationship I wanted, or that I was telling them I wanted. So what does that mean? That means that they weren't able to live in authentic spaces. So they couldn't be authentic with me, they couldn't be authentic with themselves. And thus they were living this lie to me, to the people other people they were seeing.
Amen.
And sometimes, when we talk about transparency, sometimes I was unknowingly the side chick.
Wow.
And that I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I was. And so
that's deep.
So I had to come to terms with all of that. And then I had to forgive them. I thought forgiving them and then being indifferent towards them was like best case scenario. But the moment that I prayed to God for them and just said, listen, God, wherever my exes are right now, I pray that they are able to live their most authentic lives. And I pray that they are able to do so with people that support their authenticity, because God, that's what I want for my life. And when I said that prayer, I was able to extend empathy and compassion towards them. And again, prayer, journaling, meditation,
that's good.
All of that helped me to get to that point. But once that happened, I felt the weight come off.
Ooh, that's why they say forgiveness, it really is for you.
And the truth of the matter is, to get to where I never would have made the connection between professional development and personal development. I always thought that my professional accomplishments would make me happy.
Wow.
And they didn't. I needed to get the base of me together, my spirit, my soul together. I needed to forgive them so that I could have the space, right? To be creative, to think about more about the life I wanted, and to work with God to put together those steps to create it. So once I did that, and when I tell you guys, I used to think about the hurt and pain of my previous relationships like constantly. I used to tell my mom it felt like I stank all the time. Like no matter how much you scrub and wash, like you still got this stank on you. You can't get it off. So
the visual of that.
that's what it felt like. Like I felt like I had the stank of them on me, and I resented that too. I resented that I couldn't shake the hurt. Not so much them, it was the hurt. Once I forgave them, the stank.
A lot of times, the stank, baby. If you want the stank to go away,
listen, you got to forgive.
If
you feel like you stank, you got to forgive. But in all seriousness, though, when that happened, I was able to think about what role did I play in those relationships, but also the role I wanted to play in future relationships.
Yeah, that's good.
So not just my intimate relationships, but like family, friends. How did I want to be a better auntie? How did I want to be a better daughter and a better sister and a better co-worker? And all of those things. And so this piece really touched everything in my life.
Wow. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. There's one thought that's kind of coming to mind, and then, like you said, I love that piece where you said when you were, kind of on the rise again, where you start to envision yourself. Okay, who do I see around me in this space of feeling good about myself? Where am I? What am I connected to? What type of work am I? I love that, because I used to say this to my students back when I used to work with Lead to Change, and I used to say this: you have to see it before you can see it, or you never will see it. Come on, I'll say that again for somebody. You got to be able to see it, envision it before you can see it, or you never will see it. And so that's how she was able to move to this space now, which I can't wait to get into kind of what's happening now. Because the thing is, if she began to envision a different direction, you end up in a different direction.
But here's what's interesting is that was a skill set that had always helped me to be successful as an artist manager.
Okay.
When I would work with clients, I would always envision where they wanted to go or what they wanted to do, and then I would plot out the steps and the people to get there. I had been doing that for years.
That's good.
In my professional life. Even when I thought about back in the day when I used to write for different publications, I would just go to Barnes & Noble and pick up every magazine I wanted to write for, and then I would send an article to the editor of that section or whatever. So I'd always been using that skill set, but I was also using it in the positive and the negative. So envisioning negative things that can happen, right? And then they somehow happen. And I'm a big believer in that. Like, keep your thoughts clean. Keep your thoughts pure. Stay moisturized. It all works. It all works. It all flows together.
I love how that was. Yes, that's very important. No ashy thoughts. Come on, no ashy visions.
No ashy visions.
Wait, I love it, and I'm so right. I'm sorry.
It's all facts.
So hilarious to me. This is what I want to ask before we kind of get into what you're doing right now. How important is it and it's kind of a rhetorical question, but still answer it, to guard your heart in these processes, because I think what happens, at least I can speak for myself, I've grown because I've moved into understanding and knowing my self-worth. And I protect, and not just my heart, but my vision, everything that's connected to me, because I know that the things that are connected to me are also connected to y'all. And so it's like, okay, I gotta be very careful with who I'm spending my time with, who I'm allowing to pull my attention. And so, coming from some of those broken relationships, moving forward, how do you protect Kennita moving forward, because there will be others, because do you see how fly the sister is? Do y'all see this hair?
That's very kind. She's very kind.
There will be
very
more.
kind.
So then how do we, without putting up this barrier, because that can happen too, do we protect ourselves through that?
Well, first of all,
relationships?
I'm actually in a relationship now, a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, I just thought about it today. I was like, oh.
Okay, and count down.
Oh, he stuck it out. That's good.
That's great.
But I want to take it a step further and talk about how you protect yourself just in general. And I think for me, it's understanding my values.
That's so good. Yeah.
And knowing what peace and clarity feel like.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, especially when we talk in Christian spaces, I see often, in people's curated content online, like,
oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Living my best life. The Lord is blessing me, but we really only
relationship
talk about
goals.
We only talk about the good times and attribute that to God's blessings. Whereas I feel like even when God is doing nothing, He is still blessing me. Even when I can't see it.
Yeah.
Even when I'm going through a really sucky breakup.
Yeah.
There's still a blessing in that.
Right.
And so a few weeks ago I was jogging and was listening to my music. I'm sure it was probably Jay-Z, because that really gets me hyped up. And I just felt this feeling. And so in my head I said to God, like, God, what is this feeling I feel?
Yeah.
And the response I got was, this is clarity.
Ooh.
This is when you're walking in clarity. When you know beyond who you are. So it's deeper than just having peace. It's knowing that I am in the best place right now. Knowing that the vision for what's next for me is super clear, and that is the only path that I'm on. And so for me, to get back to your question, how do you protect your heart? It's knowing when your peace and clarity is disrupted.
Perfect. Wow.
So
take notes.
I've left some projects. I've left some boards that I've sat on. I've come down from some of the lead positions that I've had on boards, because I know when the clarity and the peace is disrupted.
Yeah.
And I know that, so not just in your relationships with family or with your partner or significant other, but in friendships, in workspaces, when is that peace and clarity off? And for me, I use that as my guide. And I think if I get lost, that's where the Holy Spirit comes in to kind of guide you back. So I live by that.
Let me tell y'all something right now. If I was not in Whole Foods, that's where we are. I would be running, okay? Because that just blessed my entire soul.
Ma'am, you could not, listen, I'm about to put you out there real quick. Y'all, she could not run in this dress, because she's out here with all of the black girl magic. When I walked up, I said to her, it looks like you are dipping yourself in all the coconut oil. Like, your skin is fleeky, you out here with the baby hair and the edges popping, like you out here. My hair is too stubborn for baby edges. It won't.
Eco gel.
It won't. No, Eco gel won't do it for me. I have very my hair is stubborn, like my personality.
I love her hair. When she asked, but she said, the glow. I said, it's the glow. It's the anointing of the Holy Ghost.
Listen,
hallelujah.
I put gel on my edges, and my edges be like, no, ma'am. That's so I just don't do it anymore. So y'all see my hair like this.
I'll slick for her.
Please,
it's time to be done.
Please let me live vicariously through you and your edges.
I'm here for it. I love it. So guys, we're talking about some deep stuff. I love peace and clarity. The moment you don't feel that and you feel that kind of tug, that's the Holy Spirit saying, wait a minute, daughter, wait a minute, son, you don't need to go any further. We don't have, and for some reason, I think it's just because of this, it's a societal norm that we're supposed to live in a space of stress and constant worry and anxiety. And that is not, we were designed to live in a perpetual state of Eden. And so that means you're supposed to be moving in peace and in clarity. And when that's disrupted.
And let's not mistake that for happiness or joy.
Good, that's good.
I do have peace, I do have clarity. That doesn't mean that I don't have moments of frustration.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that I don't have moments where I need to take a few moments to meditate. Yeah. Meditating has really calmed my temper.
Yes.
But it's, just a couple days ago, I was just telling Iberia, I moved back into my apartment about a month ago because my condo had flooded. Yesterday, I'm in the bathroom and I hear water dripping. It's my ceiling. I didn't even trip. I just looked up at the ceiling. Mm-hmm. Jesus bless him. I just looked up at my ceiling and I said, Jesus, is that water coming from thine ceiling? Let me record this on my cell phone.
Oh, Lord.
And let me call my landlord. And so I called my landlord and I said, hey, do you know why there would be water coming out of my ceiling? Is that normal? Of course, I knew the answer.
Yeah, no.
I want to be very clear.
Right.
I knew that was. I knew the answer.
We knew it wasn't normal.
And so, there's definitely moments of frustration. There's still trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
But I think when you have peace and clarity, when you're able, I call it knowing the voice of my soul. Mm-hmm. I know the voice of my soul. I know what it sounds like. I know what my gut feels like. I know the voice of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And I follow that. I lean on it when I'm scared, when I'm nervous. So don't mistake happiness and joy with peace and clarity, because you are not always going to feel happy or joyful.
Yeah, that's very true. I love it. Because that's just the reality of it. But we can speak those things that be not as though they were, and there's ways to get back to that place of, like I said, Eden. And I like to, because we think about that. That's before Adam and Eve decided they wanted to slip up and mess us all up. But that's all right. All right. So let's talk about. I got a grudge against Adam and Eve. No, I don't. I really don't. Let's talk about where we are now. So again, man, thank you again for the transparency, taking us through the journey that, allowed you to move into the place of really envisioning yourself and understanding your identity and who you are and whose you are. And so now we're here, 2018, moving into the summer, and you have so much going on.
Yeah, so towards the end of 2017, I got this new mentor, and she challenged me to finally complete my business plan. So I've owned my company legally on paper 10 years.
Okay, yeah.
And had never done a business plan, had never thought about a target client, had never done any of those things. So over Christmas break, that's what I did. I worked on my business plan, and at this point, I had already defined what my vision was. I wanted to work with hip-hop musicians. What I found in my work with God is that all of my work had been around how do I use my experience to create opportunities for people in urban music. Yeah. Why urban music? Because they're an underrepresented genre here in the city of Milwaukee. So how do you create space for them here in Milwaukee using my experience as a national writer and blah, blah, blah. But also, how do you take them out of Milwaukee? How do we stop relying on other people to help us make money?
Yeah. How
do we create the money ourselves? I've always enjoyed working with the underserved. And so putting together the business plan, putting together the ideas, I said, all right, God, I think I'm going to try to do 5 workshops for 2018. And then a voice said, you're going to push for 10. And I said, okay, I'll push for 10. And now I'm at 30.
Whoa.
So I'm already booking into November, which is crazy. But here's the thing with the envisioning yourself, right? So I envisioned where I thought where I wanted to be in every aspect of my life. So health, wealth, spiritually, with my partner, with my mother, with my niece, my nephews, every aspect of my life. And then I created the plan to get there.
Oh, that's good. That's
the other thing. So it's not just imagining what that space looks and feels like, right? Yeah. it's then
That's perfect. I'm glad you said that.
taking the steps to get there. So I plotted out the steps. That's part of the reason that we're not doing this at my house.
Yeah.
Because my house is filled with signs all over my walls. It looks crazy. And vision boards.
Right, so is mine.
That's the roadmap
Yeah.
to the life I'm building and creating. And what I found was, so for example, let's talk about my personal relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I had said, I am not going to nag my partner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to talk about the things he does that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I am instead going to thank him. Why am I going to thank him? Because that's the type of space I want to be in.
Yeah.
I don't want to be with someone who's always reminding me
Right,
of the
what
things
I
I'm not
did.
doing
Yeah, right.
Which was how all of my other relationships worked.
Ah.
And so I said, I want to be in a space that is forgiving, that is merciful, that is gracious,
yeah.
right? But what is the role I play in that? How do I create that? Okay, I want to build a better networking circle. So the circle I'm in is great, but I feel like I need to be the new fish in a bigger pond. How do I get there? I started to connect to those people. Y'all who sleeping on LinkedIn.
Honey, seriously.
Ma'ams and sirs. I redid, let's even go a step further. So I knew I was gonna quit my job last July. I knew it. I started saying it in January of 2017. I'm leaving this job by July 2017. I had no idea where I was going.
Yeah, how, why,
I spent January through April redoing my LinkedIn, redoing my resume.
Yes.
April comes along, someone says, I got the perfect job for you, apply. So I applied. I got the job. This was the job I didn't think I would get. And now I'm come July. So I got, last year on my birthday, I got the email saying, we want to hire you.
Oh, yeah.
I put in my 9.5 day notice at my job. I gave them 9.5.
Very nice.
Yes. Okay. Took off the rest of the day, went out to lunch with Bay. Let's kick it.
Yeah.
And then I started my new job July 8th.
Oh, you will start it?
No, I did start. This was last year.
Oh, 2017.
Yeah. So, but I didn't know in January where this job was going to come from or what it was going to look like. I knew I wanted to be somewhere with a flexible schedule.
Right.
I wanted to be somewhere with unlimited PTO.
Yeah.
Which I do have.
Yeah.
Unlimited PTO is great, by the way. I wanted to be somewhere where they understood that I had a company and where we could talk about it. And you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
so
totally.
I was looking for a job that would allow me to bring my skill sets. I did not know that this job existed. The organization I work for, I had never even heard of them. They'd been around for 9 years. I had never heard of them. And someone just said, I think this is going to be perfect for you.
Wow.
So when you talk about speaking something in existence, but also being prepared, I was prepared. Like, and wouldn't you know, after I did the interview, the people who interviewed me, it was a 5-person panel, 3 of them came to my LinkedIn page.
Wow.
And it was ready.
See?
It was ready. And so it's not just envisioning your life, it's putting in the work to create it. People are like, oh, you got
that's good
you
right
got
there.
30 workshops scheduled. It's like, yeah, because I made the plan in December, and January 3rd I started working.
Yeah.
I started using
That's so good.
my personal and professional network to create that. So it's about the work. And when I think about the Bible, everything is predicated with a first move. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you have to do something in order for God to take you the rest of the way.
Yes,
right?
yeah. It's that whole faith and works.
Faith and works. And so I talked to God. This was a real conversation I had with him, and I said, God, I am tired of negotiating the price of success.
Yeah.
If you telling me in order to lose 50 pounds, I got to give up Gigi's cupcakes. Well, I got to give up Gigi's cupcakes. I didn't give up Gigi's cupcakes, but I eat them a lot less.
I love Gigi's cupcakes.
But they right up the street. That's what we should have did.
No, we should not.
Okay, that's the devil.
That's him. Steady coming.
Down. But so it's putting in the work. And so I told God, if this is the life that I believe you're placing in me to live, this is the vision I see, I'm going to put in the work, whatever that means. So if that means hanging out with my friends left so that I'm at home reading blogs and, studying and building content for my LinkedIn,
Yeah.
That's
What are you willing to sacrifice?
What are you willing to sacrifice
to get to the goals that everybody want? Relationship goals or career goals.
Let's talk about these relationship goals. Like, all of it is work.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned in this space in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all work.
Yeah.
If you're trying to build a career and build LinkedIn content, you have to work.
Yes.
You have to become a student of your craft forever.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in a relationship with somebody, you have to be a student of your partner. I am a
True.
student.
That's good.
I am a student of my partner, and my partner is not always on point, but neither am I.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where the grace comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about you didn't do such and such. We don't even address it.
Right.
But the same thing with my friends and my family, and it's investing, and it's really being authentic.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Being
off
authentic.
camera, yeah.
And so I put in the work to book these 30 workshops. And then I was like, all right, well, what else do I want to do? Well, I want to work with politicians, and I want to work with hip hop artists. And again, I knew I wanted to do something around voter rights.
Yeah, that's a great segue into the voter rights thing that you have going on.
I knew I wanted to do something with voter rights and getting out the vote. Why? Because there are groups of people who are often left behind and not at the table. How do I help support those people with my skill sets?
Yeah.
So this is really about, how do you serve others? And in my talks with God, I said, I enjoy serving other people.
Yeah.
I just need to be able to do it within this skill set. So September 25th, I have an event coming up at River West Public House. I'm not talking too much about it, but come August, you guys will hear more information about that. What I will talk about is my event coming up July 16th.
Yes.
It is hosted by Wives in Waiting, Christian Cupcakes, Christian Connections and Cupcakes. Yep. And I am presenting on #Squad Goals. So this workshop came out of a conversation with my partner and I. I was venting to him. I've been doing resumes for a while, and I was like, I just don't get it. Like, people are not serious about these resumes. And he said, Kennita, you need to show people how you get into the rooms with other people.
Yeah.
He's like, if you can create those steps, her face.
I was like, that's the child. At all times.
If you can create those steps and show people how to do that, because he's like, I am always impressed when you text me and say, I met so-and-so, or I did a meeting with so-and-so. He's like, how did you do it? And so I put together #Squad Goals. How to identify, engage, and expand your network.
I'm obsessed with that.
Which is really how I've built my career, because I didn't complete college. And so I feel like, in a way, I'm a hustler. Like, I'm a super hustler. Like, you put me in the room. It used to be back in the day, I would get every business card.
Yeah.
Now, I sit in the room, I parlay in the corner. I'm going to get the cars that I know I need.
Right.
And then we're going to build with them. So my networking has definitely grown. And take some time, get along with yourself, and I would say step one, really envision your life. And don't just envision it, but create a sensory overload.
Yeah.
What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? Who's with you? What are you wearing? Think about the role you play in that. So what do you have to give to be in that space? Do you have to become more vulnerable, more authentic? Like, what does that look like? And then create the plan.
I love it.
Create the plan.
That's huge. That's the huge piece.
And work the plan. Don't settle for being mediocre. Mediocre is so easy. It's so comfortable. I know we were all born to be great. My work every day is how do I tap into that greatness, because everybody's not going to, because it's easier to be mediocre.
Yeah.
And I just
Exactly.
think mediocrity is for suckers. And in fairness, I was a sucker for a while.
Wow.
So, you know what I'm saying? So that's transparency. So my takeaways would be envision your life. Take some time, write it down, commit it to memory, tape it on your bathroom wall. You know, definitely think about what it looks like, feels like, all that. Make the plan
Yeah.
to do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. Oh my God, could you ask for more? If we had a studio audience, there would be rounds of applause.
That is kind
right
of
now. No,
so
absolutely awesome. And so, you know, you guys take that kind of is also your kingdom solution. I'm gonna steal her points for the kingdom solution.
I'm taking.
But before we go, you know, she gave us some things that, you know, she has coming up. And I think it's a perfect segue into the next segment, which is church announcements. And so she's going to sit here and join me. Yes, for the church announcements of the day. So if you have a church announcement or a community event or community happening that's going on, send it to me. Just send it to savedinthecitymke@gmail.com. Again, that's savedinthecitymke@gmail.com. Put in the subject headings, hashtag church announcements, and I'm happy to announce your event right here. So let's jump right in. Yes. Okay. The Make a Difference concert. We just had Chris Crane on the show last week.
Love me some
Yeah,
Chris.
we love some Chris
Love
Crane.
some Chris.
Okay, so Saturday, June 30th. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening on Saturday, June 30th. Help us, God. I'm like, how I'm going to be in everything? I don't know. But anyway, Saturday, June 30th. Take your pick. 7:30 p.m. at the Marcus Center for the Performing Arts. That's at 929 North Water Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tickets are only $35. And this is how he raises, it's a fundraiser, raises money for his foundation, the Better Project, where he brings awareness for people with brachial plexus. I think I'm saying that right. And so, you know, he's an amazing young man doing amazing things.
Super amazing.
So you definitely want to get connected to him and support. Also coming up, this is also another Chris Crane event. So Chris Crane and the Better Project Awareness presents the first class music camp. If you got some children, y'all, listen. Children ages 6 to 16. It's a music camp this summer with Chris Crane. You hear Kennita vouching for him, and it's free.
He's a bad dude.
He's a bad dude. So July 16th through the 20th is when the camp is going to be taking place. The registration deadline was last week, but listen, reach out to the brother. If you do have a child that you want to get enrolled in this program, I'm sure he'll work something out. Just give him a call at 414-502-8271. Again, 414-502-8271.
Can I pause you
Absolutely,
for a quick second?
Yeah.
What I love so much about Chris is that he didn't wait for somebody to. He didn't wait till he got that major deal to do the moves that he wanted to make. He said, "I want to do a music camp.
Yes.
I want to do fundraiser." And here he is working with the Marcus Performing Arts Center,
Seriously,
which is a major
huge.
cultural institution in the arts community here in Milwaukee. As a young black man, so for me, I say salute to Chris.
Salute to Chris.
You know, you my
Get your
boy.
kids in this camp. Go to his
Do it.
event on June 23rd.
Yes.
You heard us. All right, also coming up is the Amani's World. Their summer calendars. I've been kind of announcing this every week. They just had an event on Monday, June 25th, but the next one coming up is Thursday, July 5th at 2 p.m. at Central Library. Another free event. They do story time with the kids. They have music, interaction with figures. I forget what you call those, like the little mascot figures, crayons and carrots, and it's really, really fun. So make sure
Crayons and carrots.
Yeah, I used to be a part of this program, and I was the carrot.
Okay. So there you go.
So there you go.
That is an interesting mix of characters, crayons and carrots. And Iberia was the carrot.
I was a carrot. And so, if you're interested in booking the Amani's World Children's Educational Program, you can just call Eddie Rutledge at 414-406-06 888-782-8279. Also, Summerfest kicked off tonight.
Summerfest kicks off. I am trying to get
Big
my
bang.
girl to go with me Friday to see Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Hey.
That makes me feel so old.
That's okay.
That I'm like, listen, I need some We
That's
Are One in my
music.
life.
Come
like,
on, I'll probably be there. But I also want to see, this makes me feel a little younger, I do want to see J. Cole. I
Yes,
may be
J.
going
Cole.
to see J. Cole.
I want to see Janelle Monáe. Also,
When is she here?
She's here the 7th or the 8th.
I'm
and
there.
Be Free is opening for it.
Oh, I do know that.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Now, Sister Strings is also doing something at Summerfest this year.
Everybody, a lot of people, I've
Yes.
seen a lot of people. So get out there, support your local artists, support your national artists.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And if
yeah.
anybody has a picture of Iberia in the carrot costume,
I have a picture.
you can send it to me. Oh, you have it? Send it to me on LinkedIn. I need all parts.
Oh, well, I think I might even post it in my group. Y'all know I don't even care. Transparent moment, I was a carrot. And I was a darn good carrot, too. I was a dancing carrot.
I don't doubt it. I mean, you...
Because we were teaching healthy eating.
And so you were dancing.
I was a carrot, like, you can eat carrots.
Why would she do that?
I did, and the kids loved it.
That was some smooth shoulder action. Okay.
Kill him with the shoulders. Okay, stop it. I can't. Okay, church announcements. I'm sorry, y'all. Here we go. So JSSTM and AMP, Life Inspired Productions presents Better. It's a stage play, and it's happening July 28th, 2018, 7 p.m. The doors open at 7 p.m. I guess that's when it starts, and the doors open at 6 p.m. and it's going to be happening at 3500 West Mother Daniels Way. So if you like stage plays, definitely go out and check that out. Oh, they do have a little blurb about it. It says a talented woman must choose between becoming either bitter or better when her dreams for success are abruptly shattered. Will her fate change when she crosses paths with a troubled stranger? That sounds interesting. It's only $20 for the play, and it is directed and produced by Talisha Wallace. For more information, give her a call at 414-708-8813. Also coming up, we just talked about it, but just in case you missed it, Christian Connections and Cupcakes, hosted by Wives in Waiting, and actually one of my best friends, Miss Lanice McGee, is putting this on. I absolutely love her. And now my sister's gonna be here speaking, so y'all know I gotta be in the place.
Listen, I appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Yes, so it's an Empowerment Connection seminar, and the July spotlight is the one and only Kennita Hickman, Chief Culture Curator. I love that title.
Yeah,
come on in
because
here.
I'm trying to get away from the word branding.
Yeah.
I think we as artists, as creatives, we really need to start thinking about how our values create culture.
I'm obsessed with it, honey. Chief Culture Curator at Catera LLC.
I'm also a word nerd, so I like alliteration. So it felt good.
I like it, and it sounds great. So the topics is, we've just been talking about it, squad goals, identify, expand, and engage your network.
Yes.
So dope. Now again, that's happening on Monday, July 16th, 2018 at 6 p.m. at the Washington Park Library on the second floor. Just in case you don't know how to Google, it's at 2121 North Sherman Boulevard in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. If you have questions, call 414-736-6637. Again, 414-736-6637. And this month's sponsor for Christian Connections is Delicious Bites.
Yes.
Are you familiar with Delicious Bites?
I am. Shout out to Tamira White.
Tamira White. I think I saw her join.
She did.
On here. What kind of bites? Is it like dessert?
She's doing desserts, yeah.
Ah.
And I was actually super happy that I could make that connection.
That's
those are
super
two
dope.
people I'm fans of.
I
so,
love it. I'm so
yeah.
here for it. Also, coming up, join us and I love to see this when churches they come outside of the four walls. That's why I love World Outreach Center. And they say, join us as we reach our community in prayer. So they're doing a prayer walk. This is also happening Saturday, June 30th, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And they'll walk the designated blocks and just pray for people. I love that. So meet at the church at 9:30 for instructions and hit the pavement for 1 hour. So do that before you start your day. Why not? Give back. And then, then go on and move throughout your day. Also coming up, Body by E. Y'all know, you know her?
I know E.
I love Erica
Mitchell.
Erica Mitchell. She has a boot camp going on. It's only $80 a month. Now here's the thing. I felt your spirit. Some of y'all say, hey, that's too much. It's not too much. She is a personal trainer. So this isn't just Okay, we out here jazzercising. Okay, this is a personal trainer. She's gonna help you change and sculpt your body. You don't want to miss this. You go to Experience Fitness, you go to any of these other places, you sit down and talk to a personal trainer, see how much they charge you. So this is a steal, $80 a month, July 10th through October 9th, 6:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. It's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you want more information or just email for your slot at Body by E, or Body by, that's probably the easier way to read it, BODEEBYE, bodybye@gmail.com. Or you can call, just in case you're like, I don't even know what letters Iberia is saying. Give her a call at 262-345-2293. And also, I told y'all, it's a whole bunch of stuff happening on June 30th. This is also happening on June 30th. Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Breakfast with Our Champions. I love this. It's happening on, at 11600 West Park Place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's the Hilton Garden Inn. And the audience, they're reaching out to young men. I love this, 12 to 17. The first 125 students are selected, and you don't have to pay to eat, which I absolutely love that part. So they're going to be discussing foundational principles to guide adolescents as they matriculate through manhood. Come on and give me these words. I better know how to read. The power and value of male role models and mentors. Activities to promote positive communication, self-image, and self-esteem. They have a tie-tying activity that's happening as well. So for more information, please contact Darian Luckett at darianluckett@gmail.com. Let's see if there's a phone number. No, actually the whole thing is a free event. Oh, wow, I love it. 9 a.m. to noon, breakfast served at 9, and it is a free event. Also, June 30th, I'm telling y'all, it's plenty of stuff to do. The Evolving Chair presents a National Mental Health Checkup Day. We love Lakeisha Russell here. We had her on a couple weeks ago talking about mental health issues. You definitely want to go out and check it out. Saturday, June 30th, 2018, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. They did have the face-to-face consultations, but those are all booked up. But you can still go out there for community resources and to connect and network. That's happening at the Destiny Youth Plaza, 7246 North 76th Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then guess what, y'all? I got a speaking engagement in Chicago. Come on in here. Yes, for the applause. Black Girl Magic. So meet me at Dessert and Discussions. You can get tickets at iamyamina.com/conference. I'll put this in the group so you don't have to try to figure it out. And so, it's happening August 12th. And again, I think I'm going to just kind of get a little bus or something, child. We can all just roll out together. We're going to work it out. I think that might be, that's it. That was a whole lot of announcements.
That was a lot.
That was a whole lot of announcements. But anyway, those are your church announcements for June 27, 2018. And again, if you have a community happening or event or something going on that's positive in the community, just send it to me. Again, it's saved in the city, mke@gmail.com, and I'm happy to announce it at no charge to you, just because I like supporting folks doing amazing things in the city. I think we're done. That's it. Okay. No, that's really it. So your Kingdom Solution, again, for real world issues, we've been discussing envisioning you. How do you see yourself? You know, again, I said it earlier, you got to be able to see it, even if that's yourself or where you want to go before you can see it, or you won't see it. So speak those things that be not as though they were. You know, you can, if you just have the mind to do so. Where you started isn't always where you're going to finish, and where you are right now doesn't always determine, the manifestation of all of your desires and dreams that you may not have seen just yet. Keep on walking, keep on pushing. Don't quit. And lastly, before we go, Kennita, tell them how they can connect to you if they want to continue to follow you with all the things you got going on.
Absolutely. Best place to reach me is on LinkedIn at Kennita Hickman. So go there.
Go there now, LinkedIn, and connect before she stops accepting connections. I'm telling you, because it does happen when they get big.
Well, y'all got a little bit of time.
You got a little bit of time. We don't know. The Lord can work a wonder. All right. I love you guys. And again, until next week, you guys be encouraged.